Welcome to the F1 2018 career mode, and you join me in the Williams for the new French Grand Prix on the calendar at Circuit Paul Ricard, a interesting, flowing, confusing circuit with all the runoff areas and all the random bits and or pieces that come with it. It took me a hot minute to get used to this track. It really did, but thankfully, we got dialed in practice. Yeah, especially coming up to the chicane with all the different offshoots of the track as we charge up to this chicane. There's no real, bollards or cones to sort of point you in the right direction. I was paying attention to my minimap quite a lot in practice versus in later sessions once I actually got used to the track. But yeah, a really flowing circuit. Really enjoyed this one. Initially in quali, I didn't pick up with it very well, but by sort of the midway point of the race, I was really getting used to the track here. Some very interesting lines you need to take. Everything leads to another corner and everything's got a later apex than you think it does. But yeah, an interesting race to get used to. Obviously, we had our major, I forgot to edit in for some reason, we've got our major power upgrade to this week, and charging down that back straight, that's going to be important to us. Anyway, final lap that we can dish out in Q2. We're on our third run, and this is of course our best run. So, through the turn one, down the hill, the car scrubs out wide, down the hill. Then you want to keep it to the left-hand side as much as possible before braking much later than you think you have to into the right-hander, then late apex, and then just turn. You have to turn early because the hairpin's tighter than you think. I ran out wide over the curb and got a hampered acceleration, but then feed it out wide. That got good acceleration. You have to play around with the ERS a lot at Paul Ricard. It burns the fuel not too badly, but it uses a lot of ERS. So if you want ERS for the whole lap, you have to lower it to lower deployment modes on your quali lap, or you run out of it before you come out of the final chicane. Speaking of chicanes, we actually boot out of that one on the curb again for acceleration. That's going to cost us all the way down to this right-hander, but we are running in hot lap mode, and that's going to now bring us down with Delta's going to cross over any second now, flats out through the right-hander, 195 miles an hour, then tapping the brakes at the 50-meter ball, then using speed, carry it around the front, will come in eventually, pick up the power, and then you bring it into this long left hand that has a very late apex. There it is. Then you go out wide onto the curb, and this is where now, due to playing around with the RS, we actually have some deployment left. So through again, another long left-hander through to the apex, and swing it out wide for the final hairpin, the worst corner on the circuit, boot it out of the final corner. You see the Delta shoot up because we have ERS across the line. It's P14. Nothing stupendous, nothing fantastic, and we didn't even stay there by the end of the session. So Hamilton on pole and Bottas in 6th. Mixed fortune for Mercedes. We are down in P18. Stroll ahead of us, but only by half a tenth, so that's not too bad. We race better than we qualify. Let's get into the French Grand Prix.
Welcome to Le Castellet as we return from across the Atlantic for the 2018 French Grand Prix. The last time Formula One cars raced at the Circuit Paul Ricard, Alain Prost took Ferrari's 100th Grand Prix victory and the 42nd of his own illustrious career. That was 28 years ago, when half of the drivers on the grid today had yet to be born. And how, I wonder, will that legacy continue in the modern era? A lap of Paul Ricard then consists of 15 corners and a total length of around 3.6 miles. Drivers will need to position their cars carefully on the exit of the flat-out turn 10, ready for the double apex right-hander at 11. Watch out for potential overtaking action at the end of the start-finish straight and into the heavy braking zone of turn 8. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Renault. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
They're definitely right about Renault. Obviously, it's their home Grand Prix, and they're on a runner form, specifically Nico Hülkenberg. But looking like a two-stop here. Obviously, we're running Ultras, Supers, and regular soft tyres, so yeah, I wasn't actually used with the car and the fuel load around here, so we fueled up heavy for the 5 red lights, which are now out, and away we go for the French Grand Prix. As I was saying there, wasn't used to the heavy fueling. We drop back off the grid. We've already lost out to Leclerc. Ericsson is on our right-hand side, and we're now going to go down the inside. Everyone leaves the door open. It tightened up much sooner than I expected, and then we have to filter out to the outside. Keep it around Stroll, or around Van Dorn, and then tuck in behind Stroll. As I was saying, I fueled the car up heavy, but I figured out during the Grand Prix we don't actually need too much fuel. Up the inside, contact with Romain Grosjean at his home Grand Prix. Stroll then ducks it down our inside initially. He's on the ultra soft tyre as well, so Stroll looks like he's committing to a 3-stop for whatever reason there, but then up the inside of Ocon around that double right-hander. We're up into 12th place already. And let's see if we can defend that now against the Force Indias. Drop it down to overtake mode. Try and defend. Ocon's going to try and give it a go into the chicane. But look at the power upgrade. The Force Indias normally shoot past us. But now we've gone very wide there. We're actually just going to keep on the circuit. Force Ocon out wide. There we go. I mean, say just keep on the circuit. That was on when we turned back in. We were definitely off the track for a second there. But that did, of course, hamper our momentum. Anyway, back to my point about fuel. Yes, we fueled up heavy for the 2 laps. But I basically ran this whole race in rich mix, and I don't think we dipped below a lap. The amount of time you can spend off the throttle to swing the car around your double apex corners, you get your fuel back so quickly. I think that was more my driving style, and that definitely highlighted why this game is very big on your driving style. Speaking of driving style, here's Esteban Ocon driving his car down the inside of the flat-out right-hander, and is he going to make the move stick? Yes, he is. We're going to switch back underneath him to be on the inside of turn 11, and he can't swing his car back underneath us at that higher speed there. So we retain P11 versus Esteban Ocon, or sorry, P12. We're trying to chase down his teammate Sergio Perez, currently in P3 or P11. Hulkenberg, our rival, Nico Hulkenberg, has dropped back. I keep saying our rival. I might actually try and select him as a rival in the functionality of the game. Has dropped back to P11. I think he's currently struggling for whatever reason at the moment. He's on ultra soft tyres as well, so he'll be pitting very soon. Can we try and attack him before he pits, or do we wait till his pit stop? Let's see. It depends on the kind of exit we can get out of this right-hander, because our big overtaking opportunity is most definitely into the chicane down this straight there. So bump it up to rich and high. And in fact, actually, talking of overtaking, it's Romain Grosjean who's going to try and do something. He's come out of absolutely nowhere behind us there. We're going to tuck it back to his inside to try and retake the move. Grosjean has locked up into that corner, but he unsettled me, and it meant I wasn't actually able to attack Hulkenberg because Grosjean had got down the inside so much. There was a yellow flag back there, actually. I think Ocon got caught up in a collision. Not too sure what happened there. Don't, unfortunately, have a replay of it, but we're trying to attack Hulkenberg. Can we stay up close behind him? No. Through the final sector, which was our weakest, we actually lost out to him quite heavily. And now we're coming under pressure from Romain Grosjean into the first chicane. Down the inside, is he going to make a successful move? He's very slow on apex. We've made a bit of contact with him there, but he's made the move stick. We've drifted out wide as well, so we're now going to have to reset and try and make a move back on him, or is he going to disappear into the distance? We shall see. We're very quick in the first sector here as Stroll comes in for his first of 3 pit stops. That's not going to work out for him this afternoon, but by lap 6, Grosjean had disappeared into the distance there, and he's running on the super soft tyres, so he's going to be looking to do a 2-stop. Same as us, same as Brendan Hartley behind here, as a load of the top guys have come in. There goes Hulkenberg as well. So I believe that's going to put Grosjean into 2nd position. Yes, indeed it is. We're up to 3rd. Hartley up to 4th there. One of the top guys is still out on the circuit. That's Daniel Ricciardo. Jeff is going to politely tell us who it is. I was curious as to who it was. He has answered for me. Meanwhile, behind us, Kimi Räikkönen's going to try and attack Brendan Hartley into turn 1. And what's going to happen there is he's going to go for a spin, because he tried the outside move. Gasly's caught up in there as well. And yeah, Räikkönen tried the outside line, made contact, and then spun. That actually put... It was Räikkönen ahead of both Mercedes, then Sebastian Vettel. But now that's put Räikkönen behind. Speaking of behind, Brendan Hartley's going to try and attack us. Round the outside, we've actually lost a lot of momentum coming out of the chicane. We hold it to the inside of the flat-out right-hander. Hartley momentarily goes off circuit. We send it back down the inside of the double right-hander of 11, and we're coming in at the end of this lap. I would imagine, same as Romain Grosjean, or is Hartley going to try and undercut us? We shall see on strategy. But yes, the pit entry here is really weird as well. Very right-hand-ish tuck in, so we're coming in at the end of lap 8. So we'll go 8 and then 8 again, and then we'll run to the end of the Grand Prix on soft tyres. A very slow and long pit lane here. You make your pit stop, you pass all the garages very shortly. So the end of the garages is here. There's the Sauber garage, and then you have to go down almost, not fully to the end, thank God. But we have to go down to this set of garages here is where you release the limiter. And we come out firmly in 14th place, which isn't too bad. But it does mean we're quite a ways off everyone else. We've now got to wait for these tyres to come up to temperature after a few corners, which shouldn't be too bad around here. A lot of long corners should build temperature quite nicely. We're now on the offense. Sebastian Vettel is out of the Grand Prix. Not entirely sure what happened to Sebastian, but he's out. And after Raikkonen's mistake, that is momentum to the Mercedes team at the moment there. So we're now coming through, storing up a bit of battery, because like I said, this circuit is very heavy on the ERS burn. Cars are in the pits. Hartley's made his pit stop by the looks of things. Is he going to switch to soft? He is. So Brendan Hartley's on a one stop. He's committed to that one stop. It's worked for Toro Rosso earlier in the season. By lap 14, big cut now. This is Sergio Perez. Sergio Perez has been struggling for the past few laps here, and he's not been very quick. So we're up behind him now with Rich and High. That ERS that we've been saving up is now going to be fully deployed. We weren't actually able to match our best lap on this stint. Just whatever it was, I couldn't get into a proper rhythm. But Perez, due to whatever issues he's got through turn 1, especially he's got some there, very slow. We're going to try and sit behind him here. And are we going to make a big dive bomb, moving to the next right-hander? We thought about it for a brief second, but we're too far back. Stroll in for his second pit stop. Could he swap to the soft tyres and make that his final pit stop? We shall see. But look at Perez, just so slow on corner apex. But he gets really good acceleration out of this right-hander in particular. I've put it into overtake mode, and we're going to open up the DRS, but Perez is very quick in the straight line. You've got to remember, he's got the same engine in the back of that thing as me. We've just made some further upgrades to it. Can we get alongside him into the hairpin? We are going to go for it against Sergio Perez, but we're not close enough. He's able to shut the door, or go side by side, and then shut the door on us on the second part of that chicane. We're going to try Rich in overtake mode one more time. Are we then going to be able to pass him? After the long right-hander at 10, we're certainly going to try it in the slipstream. Look at the speed as we go through. We're on the inside of Sergio Perez on the brakes, and now we can drift it out wide to take the racing line up into P10. That's once again our points-paying position. And now by the end of lap 16, that's the end of our stint on the super soft tyres. We're going to be coming in to make our second and final pit stop of the Grand Prix. Perez is also in. So, both Toro Rossos of Gasly first of all, and then it's going to be Brendan Hartley now go past us on the soft tyre. So that is their one stop. They are going to the end of the Grand Prix. We didn't pull out much time on them on our super soft tyre. So they are potentially direct competition going into the final portion of the race. But we're going to release the pit limiter now. Alonso ahead of us on super soft. He's also made a pit stop that lap. And we feed out in 12th position. So we're very lonely ahead. And Perez has had a very slow pit stop. Not sure what that's about. He might have had front wing damage. That might have been why he's so slow. He's definitely enough time behind us to merit a front wing change. But looking very lonely at the moment until lap 19, safety car. And again, it was another one of those safety cars. I've seen this now a couple of times in the career mode. The safety car doesn't appear to come out when a retirement happens. This one's come out and I'm not sure why. I don't know if there's been a spin at the other end of the circuit or if there's some damage or been a crash. I personally don't know. Safety cars come out a lot for me in this career mode. But anyway, it's now lap number 22. End of lap 22. We're going to go racing on 23. And I am itching to go here versus Fernando Alonso. Both Toro Rossos just ahead of us there. And they're going to be on much more worn soft tyres and could now be for the taking. So, prepare to resume racing. The green flag is going to drop now. And in a wily old Fox move, we're going to take the wily old Fox himself. And cars have come to the pits after the safety car. No idea why that's happened. But what has happened is we've then inherited P9. Technically, it should have been P10. But we stole this position of Alonso, who did not appear to be ready for the restart. So, now we're into rich and high. ERS saved up. Loads of fuel in the tank. Now we can go after both Toro Rossos. That's exactly what we're going to try and do. As we now bump it up to overtake mode. On the back straight, there's going to be 3 laps of racing at the end of this one. But Perez is now going to try and come past us. He's got loads of battery, loads of fuel to use. Going to try and go to the outside of the chicane. We don't let it happen. Down the inside. Position retained. Roman Grosjean there. In the Haas, he's falling. He's currently P7. Gasly's already got past him. And now Brendan Hartley is up behind him there. Coming into the final sector of the lap, Grosjean's gone deep on his brakes. He's all locked up. Hartley goes through. Grosjean came across. We had to take avoiding action over the curb. And that's what we've exactly what we've had to do. And that means we've inherited P8 there. And it's also pushed Hartley slightly further back into us. We're going to have DRS for the final 3 laps of the French Grand Prix. I personally don't think 8th is all we're getting this race. We could get P7 off of Brendan Hartley. All we need to do is have a clean first sector, and we've got enough power in this Mercedes engine here to overtake that Honda-powered Toro Rosso on the straight. We just need to have a clean first sector, which I think we've had. We've turned in very early for the hairpin. That's hampered my acceleration somewhat. Can we try and get a better exit out the long right-hander? We're within 4/10 of Brendan Hartley. We've got higher now up into overtake. Burn our ERS. DRS open. I'm going to get confused between ER and DRS soon, but we're going to close up to Hartley. Can we get close enough to make a move into the chicane? Answer is no this time around, but we take a tight exit, a bit of oversteer that hampered our exit, so we had to wait, save up the battery, and that's exactly what we've done to have another go at him on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix, lap 26. You can see much visibly closer to the back of the Toro Rosso. I can nearly read the serial number off of it through that hairpin. Here we go now, back up into high, into overtake mode, DRS wide open, rich mixture. Now we're getting the full slipstream. Now Brendan Hartley's going to come under attack, drop it into medium early, braking just after the 100-meter board. Can we get it slowed down? Answer is yes. Past the Toro Rosso of Brendan Hartley, up into 7th place. And Gasly is a little bit up the road. I don't think we've got enough laps to catch him. I don't even think we've got enough power to catch him. We're certainly going to try, though, as we come across the line to start the final lap of the Grand Prix. Brendan Hartley is not going to take us taking that position, lying down. Here he goes, inside of the first corner. Can he stick it? No, he's not quite able to hold on. The grip's not there in his soft compound tyres. They've done too many laps. He's not able to hold it through the inside, and that means coming through the final couple of corners. Gasly kept ahead of us there, but we come through the final corner, hot lap mode, using all the power we can to charge towards the line. P7, more points.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix.
A Mercedes 1-2 in France, and Max Verstappen claiming 3rd. So after I called him out for having a horrible season, he gets his 3rd place. Sainz in 5th continues the Renault running momentum there. Gasly in his home race gets 6th. We get 7th there. Van Dorn as well gets points for McLaren in 9th. And then Daniel Ricciardo down in 11th. And then bad race for some, better race for others. We remain 8th in the Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen re-overtakes Nico Hülkenberg there, who is the guy we are in direct competition with for best of the rest there. And we've done very well in this Williams car. Most definitely outperformed it, I would say. Been getting constant points. Like I've said, you know, we've only failed to score at one race this season, which was the second round, and even then we got P11. So we weren't close, but we could have got points should there have been a retirement. Moving on to the constructors there, we jump back up into 5th place there, ahead of Force India, 13 points behind Renault. So doing a brilliant job so far. Everyone has points. Those 2 points Van Dorn gets, then Ty McLaren with Sauber. Both teams getting a decent amount of points there, so looking good. Let's get into an interview with Claire.
Amazing performance out there. You must be really happy. You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled.
It was really satisfying, actually, to dance that Williams round the long corners of this track. Felt very flowing after I got it down.
You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy?
I talked about the nimbleness, just how well the car controlled here. It surprised me with how well it handled around this circuit. So into the rivalry screen once again, just more points, more against these rivalries. We're going to draw Stroll with that rivalry, and we've nearly beat Charles Leclerc on this particular rivalry there. with the Alfa Romeo Sauber driver, and we're going to get our resource points. Lovely. Reputation with all the teams has gone up there. Williams really appreciate the work that I'm putting in. So do most of the teams, actually. Red Bull didn't too much like what I did there, but moving on to be a bit of a veteran, and you can see we're swinging towards being a showman. Now, it's another opportunity to negotiate our contract here, and this was a big one. So Williams have offered me this. They want me to get 11th in qualifying. They want me to finish 18th in the race. They still want me to have first driver, and that's what they're prepared. They want to take away simultaneous development and resource points for the race. Now, with the amount of effort and work that I've put into this team to build them up, I'm a little bit offended with what they've offered me here, actually, considering the work that I'm doing as the Mercedes reserve driver. So as such, I'm going out of my way here. I'm thinking, you know what, if you don't consider me that valuable, if you think I'm only going to get 18th and take away development, then I'm going to go looking somewhere else. So I'm going to put the 50% on the race and the 2 upgrades per department, but I'm going to do that for Force India. And I'm going to go to Force India and see what services, if they want my services. So I've offered what I think is reasonable. Let's see what they say.
Okay, everyone's happy with that proposal and we're locked in. From the next race weekend, you'll officially be racing for a new team, so you better start getting ready for the move.
There you have it. Williams insulted me with that last contract, with what they wanted me to do. And, you know, I got on the phone to the Mercedes guys. We're like, guys, look, this is what Williams are saying. You can see what I'm doing for them this year. You know, if eventually my future is with Mercedes, you know, as your reserve driver, so clearly you want me to be doing better, so give me some better technology. They then had a word with VJ, and it's my last weekend in Williams. So Carl, Lance, Arava, you know, the mechanic is lovely over there, and this Williams motorhome, it's my last one here. As of Austria, we are a Force India driver. That is huge for the progression of this career mode, and I hope you are interested and excited to see the move. If you do want to be notified of when that move takes place, and the Austrian Grand Prix, which is a power circuit, we should go well there, then do hit subscribe and enable them notifications, and leave a like and comment any feedback if you have enjoyed this video. And yeah, next time out, we're going to be driving for Force India. Technically, as of this video, obviously they are still the Force India. They're not that, you know, whole real life racing point Force pink MacGuffin. And that's next time out in Austria. But points for our final race for Williams. I said it wasn't my future forever, and apparently we're moving on sooner than I expected, but don't insult me with your contract offer, is what I'm saying. Let's see how we do in Austria for Force India next time.